What's going on, guys? My name's Theoatrix, and today I'm gonna be completely explaining how GameTicks work in Oldschool Runescape. So throughout this video, I'm gonna start off explaining what exactly a GameTick is and how long it is and a bit of extra information, and I'm also gonna explain later on in the video some ways that GameTicks are manipulated to a player's advantage. So pretty much every single thing in RuneScape is measured in GameTicks, from things like how fast you attack with a weapon, to when you eat a piece of food, to chopping trees, to fishing, everything. Now, these ticks are not unique to you or your account. They actually run in the entire RuneScape server and can't really be moved around or changed per account. By keeping everyone's game ticks the same and at the same time, it means that no one is able to manipulate certain PvP attacks, and it also makes the game run a lot smoother in general. Essentially, one game tick is approximately 600 milliseconds or 0.6 seconds. However, a very interesting point here is that depending on the server's connection, the game tick length can actually be a little bit slower or longer. Now take note, this is a server connection, not your own connection. It's the Jagex's server connection. So if the connection to the server isn't as good, usually that happens in very populated worlds, there's usually about a 10 millisecond delay for each game tick, which is pretty much nothing, but it's very slightly slower. Now a good way to show game ticks is by putting down a cannon and then watching how it rotates every 45 degrees. So every time it rotates, that is one single game tick. Now, as I said, attacking runs on game ticks as well. Now, the fastest weapons in the game are knives, darts, and the blowpipe on the rapid attack style. By having it on that style, you attack every second game tick, so every 2 game ticks, and that's about every 1.2 seconds. Now, the slowest weapon in the game is actually the dark bow, and if you're on the accurate or the long range attack style, you attack every 9 game ticks, which is equal to 5.4 seconds, which is ridiculously slow. Pretty much every single skill is configured to these game ticks. I'm not going to go through every single skill, but I'll give you a couple of examples. When you're cutting gems for crafting, for example, you cut them at a rate of 2 game ticks per cut. Another example is when you're fletching and cutting logs into bows, you cut them every 3 game ticks. But then when you string these unstrung bows, it's every 2 game ticks, so it's actually 1 tick quicker. Now my last example is making cannonballs at a furnace. When you're smelting a regular bar in a furnace like gold bars, it happens every 4 game ticks, but when you make cannonballs, it takes more than double the time, and it's every 10 game ticks. If everything runs off a 0.6 second game tick, how the hell can prayer drain really quickly at a rate faster than 1 game tick? Well, there's actually another type of tick that exists in Oldschool Runescape. In the engine Q&A, which happened a little while ago, Mod Jack H actually confirmed that some things in the game run on a 50 millisecond game tick, which is 1/20th of a second. So your prayer draining will register every 20th of a second. And also another example of when the 50 millisecond tick is applied is with combo eating. For example, when you eat a shark and then a karambwan, the karambwan will be eaten within 50 milliseconds of when you click. Now this leads me on to my next point, tick manipulation. Tick manipulation is actually legal, it's completely allowed, and I think the main reason why it's allowed is because it's so much more click intensive. But with all the clicking, there are a lot of benefits. Now, while combo eating isn't really tick manipulation, it kind of is, but anyway, tick eating is actually existent in RuneScape, and it is a little bit different to combo eating. Tick eating is a process where you eat a piece of food after the hit has been decided, but before it hits you. This is how one prayer pewers can defeat the fight caves. They take a full stack of purple sweets and they eat the split second before they get hit, and they don't die because the hit never is more than their current health because it's already been determined. However, tick eating was removed in PvP because they made it so players can hit more than the final blow on a player. So if a player has 10 health, they can hit more than 10 even though they realistically only deal 10 damage. Now, another example of tick manipulation is prayer flicking, and I'm going to make a full guide on this soon. And prayer flicking comes down to that 50 millisecond game tick I was speaking about before. By clicking on and off your prayer exactly when a single game tick happens, not the 50 millisecond game tick, the 0.6 second game tick, the protection prayer or the stat boosting prayer registers for that tick only, and it lasts that full 0.6 seconds. Your prayer drains the teeniest little bit, but since it's only for a split second, it uses a tiny amount of prayer and it still functions the same way. Now, the other type of tick manipulation is to do with skilling. By manipulating certain skills, you can speed up the XP rates of skills by a lot. I'm going to go through every method. I'm not going to show exactly how to do them, but I will explain what they do and how they work. Starting off with 3-tick mining. Basically, when you mine a rock that is next to you, it takes 3 ticks to register 1 attempt at mining it. But when you're walking to a rock nearby, like the Motherlode mine, when you're moving spot or a granite rock or something like that, it takes 5 game ticks, and sometimes even more to get 1 attempt at mining the rock. But if you use tick manipulation with herb tar, you can actually reduce that 5 game ticks down to 3 game ticks even when you're walking to another rock, so it speeds it up by a lot. Now, 3-tick fishing is very similar. Regular fishing works every 5 game ticks, and you can only have a chance of receiving certain fish every 5 game ticks. But with tick manipulation on the same fishing spot, you can reduce it down to 3 game ticks and get fish or get a chance at getting fish every 3 game ticks. So this really speeds up XP. Now, another one is wood cutting, and normally it takes 4 ticks to get a chance of getting a log from a tree. But if you tick manipulate by being attacked and doing some retarded clicking, you can actually reduce that down to 2 game ticks, and that doubles the XP rates. Now, the last methods are cooking, and there's actually 2 ways to manipulate cooking. Firstly, there is 1-tick Karambwan cooking, and since you can cook a Karambwan instantly after you click cook, you're actually able to get unbelievably high XP rates because you can cook a full inventory of Karambwans in about 20 seconds. Now, the final manipulation method is just with regular cooking, and believe it or not, the first 2 pieces of food that you cook when you select to cook a certain food will cook 3 game ticks apart from one another. But then the ones after those 2 are 4 ticks apart. So basically, you can constantly cook 2 pieces of food and redoing the dialogue, and you're actually able to cook every piece of food 3 ticks apart. This one is kind of hard to maneuver, and it isn't really recommended since it's not a massive XP boost, but it is still a little bit faster. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you tuning into today's video. I really hope you learnt something cool today. I will be making a video on exactly how to tick manipulate soon, and I'm also going to make that video about prayer flicking as well. But anyways, guys, that is everything for tick manipulation, and now it's time for clip of the day. Now, Neive Task, a very good friend of mine and a general rank in my clan chat actually, he got 99 Slayer yesterday at the Abyssal Sire. Now, we also have a clip from Baka Mop, and he got his first ever Abyssal Demon task. Then he went ahead and went to kill the Abyssal Sire, and he got 2 Unsireds within 35 kills. And he got 2 Abyssal Daggers from that, and then he went and killed some normal Abyssal Demons, and he got the Eternal Gem from his first superior Abyssal Demon. And that was all in 1 Slayer task. That's so lucky, man. Congratulations. That just goes to show how profitable Slayer really can be. But anyways, guys, enjoyed today's video? Don't forget to leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with more new old school content. If you want to chat to me or to some other members of the community, check out my Discord, the link is down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.